All right, let's take a journey back in time, thousands of years, to witness the final, desperate moments of a kingdom right on the edge of collapse. The whole story is captured in one ancient text, Jeremiah chapter 8. Let's see what it has to tell us.
Wow, this one line, it's just so haunting. It's really the heart of the whole story. It's the cry of a people who suddenly realize their window of opportunity, their last shot at being rescued, has just slammed shut. It's a feeling of finality that hits you, doesn't it? So what led them to this point? How did it all go so wrong? That's what we're here to unpack.
So, our story kicks off, maybe surprisingly, not with the people's panic, but with a divine verdict. A judgment has already been passed, and believe me, the sentence is absolute.
Now, in the original Hebrew, this phrasing is just packed with power. I will surely consume them. It's not like a possibility, it's a declaration. This isn't a warning of what might happen anymore. Nope. This is a statement of what is now completely unavoidable.
To really get this idea of total loss across, the text uses these incredible images from farming, things everyone back then would have understood in their bones. No grapes on the vine? That's not just a bad harvest. That's joy and blessing gone. No figs on the tree. That symbolized the loss of peace, of security. And a fading leaf? Wow, that means life itself is just withering right at the source. There's no coming back from this.
And here's the crucial point. This wasn't seen as some random disaster, some bit of bad luck. In ancient Judah, the land, the harvest, their national security, all of that was understood as a gift from God, part of a sacred agreement, a covenant. So this devastation, they would have seen it as a covenant reversal, the predictable, really tragic consequence of breaking their side of the deal.
I mean, what a terrifying image to drive the point home. The judgment is like venomous snakes that can't be charmed. Think about that. It means there's no negotiation. There's no appeasing. There's absolutely no way to stop what's coming. No political deal, no religious ritual, not even a last-ditch prayer is going to turn it back now.
So, with the verdict delivered, the focus shifts. Now we start to hear the voice of the people as they begin to grasp the terrifying reality that's unfolding all around them.
You can just feel the panic in these words, can't you? People are shouting, "Why are we just sitting here?" They're abandoning the countryside, running for their lives into fortified cities like Jerusalem and Lachish, hoping, just hoping, that those high walls can save them from the storm.
And you got to remember, this wasn't just some abstract poetry. It was unfolding in real time. This timeline here shows how the Babylonian Empire was methodically just conquering the entire region. From that decisive victory in 605 BC all the way to the final brutal destruction of Jerusalem in 586 BC, history was proving the prophecy true, step by devastating step.
You know, in the middle of all this terror, there's this moment of clarity. The people finally admit it. We have sinned. But it's just a tragic, too-late confession. The text says they are given water of gall, basically poison, to drink. Their realization brings no relief, only the bitter taste of their own choices. And here you can just see their shattered hopes laid bare. They had been expecting peace and health, probably because false prophets were telling them exactly what they wanted to hear. Their big political hope was an alliance with Egypt, but the reality, invasion and destruction by Babylon. The gap between what they expected and what actually happened was just devastating.
Okay, now we turn to the third and most personal voice in this whole drama, the prophet Jeremiah. And he isn't some detached messenger, okay? He is emotionally shattered by the very message he is forced to deliver.
You can just feel the depth of his pain here. His heart is faint, he says. He can't find any comfort. This is not someone gloating over judgment or happy he was right. This is a man who is completely broken by it all.
And his grief, it isn't just for himself. For the hurt of my people, he says, I am hurt. He completely identifies with their suffering. He internalizes it. When he says, I am black, he's talking about wearing the black garments of mourning. He is literally wearing the despair of his entire nation.
And this is such a crucial insight into his character and his calling. Jeremiah's heartbreak, it really reveals the heart of a true prophet. They don't take any pleasure in pronouncing doom. They are absolutely devastated by it.
This brings us to the famous closing of the chapter. It's like a final diagnosis that reveals the ultimate reason for the nation's fall.
So to understand what comes next, we need a little context. The balm of Gilead. This wasn't just a metaphor. It was a real, famous, and apparently very effective medicinal ointment, known all across the ancient world for its healing powers.
So with that in mind, Jeremiah asks this absolutely devastating rhetorical question. He cries out, "Is there no balm in Gilead? Is there no physician there? Why isn't my nation healed?" And the implied answer just hangs there, heavy in the air. Of course there was a balm. Of course there was a physician. The tragedy wasn't a lack of the solution. The tragedy was that the solution was rejected.
And so we're left with the final, piercing takeaway from this chapter. It's a story not about hope being denied, but about hope being refused. The cure was available, the physician was present, the seasons of opportunity came and went, and in the end, salvation was simply left behind. It leaves us with a haunting question. When our opportunities pass, who is truly responsible for the outcome?